This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Now, obviously, I can't speak for everybody here on YouTube who does boxing content. Now, some channels out there will just do boxing interviews, or some others out there will do boxing like I do, give you the news, then of course give you our thoughts and our opinions on it. Now, with that, with the side that I choose to do, which is the boxing news and opinions, yes, I will do interviews from time to time on that as well. But because I'm giving you my own opinions in that at times, you're going to attract some negativity. It doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter what you do, there's always going to be people who disagree with you. So if you're somebody out there who wants to start up their own YouTube channel, or maybe you've already started it and maybe you've just suddenly found out the hard way, listen, you can never please everybody in boxing, so don't even try. Because if you do, then you're going to fall at the first hurdle. Boxing fans, myself included, we are some of the most fickle boxing fans on the planet, or sports fans on the planet. We are. When we get something in our head and our own opinion, it's quite difficult to remove that unless you can prove the fact. But even then, people will still try and spin it, so they're still kind of right in some kind of way. That's how we do it, okay? Now, that said, I say all that because, for example, I could do a video and I praise something that Eddie Hearn has done, Matchroom. Okay, I enjoyed their show, or it's a good headliner that they put on, whatever. There will be a section of people who will say, Matchroom Icons. Again, people create parody accounts of me and all kinds of stuff. But Matchroom Icons, Sport Icons is on the Matchroom Payroll. Matchroom Casual seems to be a word that's thrown around. Complete opposite to what it is that they obviously self-proclaiming. They are obviously proclaiming that they are boxing hardcores. Complete rubbish. Rubbish. For anybody out there who are claiming to be a boxing hardcore and you don't like Matchroom, well, you are the complete opposite as to what you are proclaiming. And anybody, and listen, if there's any channels out there who claim to be a boxing hardcore and are hating on Matchroom, listen, I will debate you all day, every day, and I will chew you up on boxing knowledge when it comes to this particular era. Because whether you agree with my thoughts, my opinions on things, one thing you do have to agree with is that I do know boxing. Now, I don't talk about everything with boxing. I'm more of a productivity kind of person, okay? I will do something that I think that you guys want to listen to and want to talk about in the comment section, more importantly, talk amongst each other. I'm not going to do a video knowing full well that you lot ain't interested. What's the point? It's a waste of my time. Of course, I will do interviews that, of course, a lot of you won't be interested in. That is for sure. But again, that's got a long-term effect. Maybe they will do something one day, then maybe people will start to come back and watch these old videos. Okay, so there's always a method behind it. Now, at the same time, so of course, if I was to praise Eddie Hearn, then obviously I'm a Matchroom fanboy, I'm on a Matchroom Payroll, whatever. If I do a video where I say something critical about Matchroom and Eddie Hearn, then of course I will get people who do support Eddie Hearn saying how I'm anti-Matchroom, I'm anti-Eddie Hearn, and all that kind of stuff. Therefore, I must be on the payroll of Ben Shalom Boxer, Wasserman, Probellum, Frank Warren, whatever, okay? I'm on somebody else's payroll. Listen, if I was on somebody's payroll, then quite clearly they're sending the money to the wrong account. Because I can tell you quite honestly, I've never received not one penny from any boxing promoter out there. Not one. Not one. Whether that be in a brown envelope or whether that be wired directly into my account. Never happened. I've never looked to try and get any money out of them. Not one time have I ever tried. Never. Never tried to get a job with anybody. Not something that's ever interested me. Ever. That said, would I be interested in working for a particular platform, a particular promoter? Maybe, depends. Because obviously, if I'm working for somebody, I mean, firstly, you guys will be the first people to find out about it. I'm always going to be honest and transparent about everything. But it will take something that will cover the cost that I'm going to lose here on YouTube. So that would be the first thing, wouldn't it? Because obviously, I can't dedicate as much time here on YouTube. Does that mean that my channel is open for hire? No, it doesn't. But naturally, of course, if I'm working for a particular promoter, then obviously some of my content is going to be building up some of their fights. Of course, it's natural, isn't it? That's my employer. I don't want to piss them off, am I? But at the same time, what kind of role would it have to be? It would have to be something that I would feel comfortable doing. And that would have to be something to do with like media, as in I can control and maybe filter through the applicants for those who want to attend the shows, all that kind of stuff. I can help with the promotion. Of course, I know the media side here on YouTube and that especially. Now, have I ever been offered any kind of money? No, never. Never been offered money, not once. Have I been offered a job? Well, again, I have to be totally honest. Yes, I have. Quite recently, actually. And again, I have to be honest, it is something that I am thinking about. That is for sure. Now, we haven't got into the specifics of it, as in exactly what the role is. And certainly we haven't spoken about the money side of it yet. But if it gets to that point, again, I'll let you all know. But am I going to take the job? Well, I haven't had a contract in front of me yet, so I can't tell you. But if it does happen, I'll tell you. All right? I'll always be totally honest with all of you. But no, I'm not on anybody's payroll. Never looked to be on anybody's payroll. So to go back to the point, you're never going to please everybody. It's never going to happen. I've never been on Eddie Hearn's payroll. I've never been biased towards Matchroom, and I'm not anti-Matchroom. I'm not pro-boxer. I'm not pro-Wasserman. I'm not pro-anybody. But as I said before, I do know the boxing landscape. I do. And for those of you who don't, watch the ranking system. Watch my videos on that, and you will be very clued up with a lot of things very, very quickly. Go watch them. Now, going forward, am I ever going to change? Am I ever going to be totally neutral and everything? No, because again, it's part of my human DNA to be biased over certain situations. So for example, if I know people on a particular platform, I'm going to hype up them particular shows. Boxer, Sky Sports, have fighters who I personally know who I'm very good friends with. I'm going to hype up those shows. So do Probellum. So do Matchroom. I'm going to hype up those particular fight nights. I am. Of course I am. Well, what am I going to do? Slag off those fight nights? What kind of friend would I be? Anyway, that said, what the point of this video was, I don't really know, to be honest with you right now. I had a point. But you can never please everybody. You really can't. So again, when people are saying how I must be on Ben Shalom's payroll because I defended him over him saying things about, don't ask me about Probellum, don't ask me about DAZN or Eddie Hearn or AJ, whatever it was that he said. No, that's just how it works. That's just how boxing is. And just because I said that Eddie Hearn isn't as transparent as what he'll tell you, that doesn't mean I'm hating on Eddie Hearn. It doesn't. Just because lately I've criticised certain things about Matchroom, that doesn't mean I hate Matchroom. What I really want, and this is God's honest truth, I want Matchroom and DAZN to continue to put on good fight nights of boxing. But ideally, I'd like them to be better. I would. Eddie Hearn is currently seen as the #1 promoter in the world. Cool. Continue that. Long may it continue. But to do that, he's going to have to do better than what he's doing, or at least continue what he's doing. But likewise, when I look at Boxer, when I look at Wasserman, when I look at Probellum, and Frank Warren, that as well, I want them to close the gap. Why? Because me, as a boxing fan, that means I want to get more fight nights. That means me, as a YouTube uploader with boxing, I get more to talk about. Very simple. Now, that doesn't mean that I want Eddie Hearn to drop down a few levels so they can catch up. No, that doesn't mean that at all. I don't want Eddie Hearn to drop down levels. I want the rest of them to close the gap. That's what I really want. So yes, I will be more biased towards Boxer and Probellum and Wasserman and Warren and everything, because I want them to start building up some momentum. I want that to happen. Of course I do. I don't want Eddie Hearn to have the monopoly. I don't want anybody to have the monopoly on boxing. Because when somebody has a monopoly, like Frank Warren did a few years ago, boxing dies. It stagnates. You all remember that era. I certainly do. It stagnated. I don't want that again. The more promoters, the better. The more boxing shows, the better. The more networks out there are showing boxing, the better. I will continue doing my little bit here on YouTube. And of course, I will continue to do the small horse shows, filming the fights and all that kind of stuff. And yes, I will continue doing the interviews for the unknown fighters. I will. And of course, some of the big fighters like Dillian Whyte and etc. Of course. But boxing is very, very important across the board, not just here in the UK. Of course, that's where I'm going to be mostly biased. But again, those who say that I shouldn't be biased, I should be perfectly on the fence. Why? I never have been, I never will be. So why would I need to be? If I just read you the news and I was perfectly neutral, then you may as well go on Google, mightn't you? Anyway, my thoughts, you drop me yours, click thumbs up, subscribe, catch you on the next video.